Can start at paragraph 15 and tell the Commission about your history that you set out in paragraph 15.
Thank you, Commissioners. During the period from 1993 to the early part of 1995, I was in Mkhwanazi operative, but in its self-defense unit which operated within South Africa, and had its own objective and gathering of intelligence. I gained a lot of experience in the clandestine gathering of intelligence and the practices of counterintelligence. I then became and I was appointed an official informant for the South African Police Service in 1999. During 2009, I was registered and thereafter acted as an agent for crime intelligence in the South African Police Service.
And can you explain to the Commission the difference between an informant and an agent?
See, an informant will be any person. It even happens in different situations. We may be a group of three probably doing something illegal or stealing, and when I happen to be arrested alone, the moment I tell the police the truth and tell them, even yesterday we stole something and we left it at a particular place, and the police goes there and find whatever that I'm saying, and further probably tell the police, look, even next week or tomorrow we are planning to break somewhere, and the police goes there and they find that it's true, my friends were attempting to steal or they were breaking, the particular person can also be regarded as an informant, or a police officer may be knowing the movement of this person, his environment, and may also make that particular person an informant. But when it comes to a contact agent will be recruited by a crime intelligence officers or official. And that recruitment will include certain things.
Building a legend. Can you just explain to the Commission what you meant by that regard, in that regard?
The legend building. This instrument, when I said you will create a false life, in one of the statements, you'll see I said one of my communications with General Mkhwanazi, for example. I sent him a message that, how is your relationship between yourself and Lieutenant General Khumalo? And he asked, what did he say? And I said, no, he was putting a remark that you are not listening to the crime intelligence. But the moment he advanced more question, I said, the minister has been briefed, or I said, General Khan will brief you next week. It's just to create a false life. You create a perception that the person can start talking to you.
But in your case, the legend that you created didn't involve any different identity from your actual identity as Brown Mogotsi. You didn't.
Yes, I remained Brown Mogotsi. There is a mine in Richards Bay. But then the information as it came was that there was a suspicion then, a real suspicion, that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi was recruited by the Central Intelligence Agency, the American one. And he actively worked for them.
In your statement, I will read exactly what you say when you introduce this subject of recruitment. You say, I obtained information from one of my sources that King Misuzulu and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi were recruited by and actively worked for and with the American Central Intelligence Agency, in brackets CIA. Relayed to us by you, this information is hearsay, and relayed to you by your source, it is hearsay. So it is hearsay upon hearsay, or double hearsay. Do you agree?
I do not agree, commissioners. In this world, the intelligence world, when there is a suspicion, you may presume, you can say yes, it's a hearsay, how a general person will think. But a contact agent, an underground operative, will have to investigate, even if you can.
No, please continue.
Okay. The hearsay part, it becomes something of a general knowledge. One must investigate because it's a suspicion. Now, if a source says to you, King Misuzulu and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi were recruited by the CIA, you start paying attention to everything they do.
I think maybe then go to paragraph 22, where I think you were heading anyway.
Yeah. Oh, this is where the source further indicated that in execution of his mandate from CIA, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi on numerous occasions sent members of the political killing task team to intimidate, harass, attempt murder members of the royal house associated to Prince Makati. Now, then a number of cases were opened with subs in KwaZulu-Natal related to this conduct. And these cases were, however, not investigated or acted upon by subs due to intervention of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, being the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal.
So, can you explain what evidence, if any, you received to substantiate the statement that this was in execution of a mandate from the CIA?
It is because we ended up, like I'm mentioning, Prince Makati, commissioners. Part of my network, we ended up having to meet with them. Actually, they even came to Gauteng. We hosted them in Midrand, helped them to open a case as they were alluding. But that time, Prince Makati sent the aide and Prince Zulu. We came to Midrand. And after opening the case, due to jurisdictional purpose, the matter was then transferred back to Nangoma police station. We also have the case number mentioned here, commissioners. There is something called Boko Haram. It was a presentation, intelligence presentation, which was presented to the former minister, Bekiceli. I'm going to give a bit description about that presentation. Commissioners, it was 6 pages. The Boko Haram, it talks to a man who was known as John Wick. This John Wick appears on the presentation of the intelligence presentation which was presented to Minister Bekiceli. It has a picture of John Wick, his ID number, it has his previous convictions, pending cases, and everything, all the matters that were withdrawn against him. It was in 2018 October, Commissioner. Commissioner, John Wick is Vosemose Ket Matlala. Even the picture is showing that. Now, former Minister Bekiceli says now, he only met him in December 2024. Now, one will ask again, he even said he didn't know him, he invited him to his house, and it was a freebie, he had to take it. And I should also share, it's within those messages between me and Kat Matlala. The story that Minister Bekicelo was in Kat's house. It is true. We actually had to arrest Minister Cele at that time. He was affected by this POCA Act, the Proceeds of Crime Act. There was an arrangement. I believe when you get to those messages, one will be able to allude to the commission exactly what happened. It was during the ANC Lekgotla, when General Cele was in that house. And the basis which I also refer to, I'm saying when we reach there, it's written in my statement, the monies which Kat Matlala alleges to have given to Bekicele, they are there.
On the timing, when was Minister Cele in Mr. Matlala's house in relation to the award of the contract?
It was after the contract was awarded, Commissioner. The contract was awarded last year, and the information said, and it's not only former minister, it goes to General Masemola also. It's not only General Cele. When the information came, they referred, of course, to General Bekicele, that he has interest in that. And it is true that he would, from time to time, talk to Kat Matlala. But that time, because he was the minister, we could not do anything. Hence, the instruction was that let's wait for the elections. And indeed, the ANC parliamentary list, when it was published, Bekicele was on the list around 200 and something to 300. We already knew he was not coming back to Parliament, and we waited for the new dispensation. And as a result, Minister Senzo Mchunu was appointed the Minister of Police.
I just want to understand, and this is my last question on this. I want to understand your point.
Yes.
Around Mr. John Wick's in relation to the award of the contract. If you are making any connection at all in that regard, what's your point exactly?
The point is that it is clear that General Bekicele, he knew Vusimusi Kat Matlala beforehand, because this presentation was done in 2018. And when the source says General Bekicele is having an interest in this tender, you'll ask him, but why are you saying that? What do you have? He'll say, no, with the information that is coming, go and check, but I know they are talking or they are meeting. He'll just give you a draft information as to this is what is happening.
If I understand you correctly, so you are basically saying at the stage of what you refer to as the Boko Haram presentation, Minister Cele knew of or about Mr. Matlala.
Definitely.
But at that stage, you are not suggesting that they had met.
Yes, they had not met. Let me say, because he was presented, and the picture of the presentation shows Vusi Matlala's picture. Doesn't show, there's no other John Wick. John Wick is Vusimus Kat Matlala. 2 or 3 times over the phone, then I requested to meet him and we met here in Gauteng. And that's when I told him that I am a contact agent and this is what I'm looking for. And there is a project, an award of a tender in South African Police Service. And I used to work with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi and so forth. That's when I introduced myself formally.
And when approximately was this?
It was around August last year, or September, August.
And do you remember where you met?
Yes, we met. At first I came to his office, and the there is something very important that I should also mention, commissioners. The moment you inform a person that you are this particular agent, I believe you can hear, as it is spoken by me, myself, that everyone heard Lieutenant Sibe, General Sibe speak in Parliament that we met in December and what. At first, the intention was to bring this application in camera. And I know he had a view that he had to protect me. He couldn't speak what I'm saying here to the public. That perhaps a question will be posed, but we had General Sibe. Okay, he even said, I didn't pay my breakfast in Cape Town. But I'm trying to say, it should not be misconceived that I'm saying something he did not say. He had a duty to protect me. That's why he could not allude openly that this is Brown Mogotsi, we met. He just said, I came to him with information that someone is after you in crime intelligence. He did not speak to this that I'm saying, and this is what happened.
But your evidence is that you met for the first time in August, September last year.
Yes, in his office.
In his office.
That's correct.
You say that you contemplated the genuine possibility that General Mkhwanazi might announce his resignation at the press briefing.
Yes.
Why did you contemplate that?
You see, the arrest of General Khumalo was a breaking point. It almost changed the South African police service. Everything changed. That's why we are here. That's why I'm able to say there is intelligence report in 2018. I know of 2019, 2021. There is no such thing as the big five and things they're talking about. General Mkhwanazi, he was angered by the arrest of General Khumalo. Even the press conference was only about that, where he said there is a drug cartel. They are using this tactic of misdirection, commissioners, too. Like you say, the PKTT was disbanded because there is a drug cartel which Minister Mtuni wanted to protect. KT Molef, these people were still going to be arrested whether the PKTT was there or not. Now, they just brought a big narrative.
This first part of the message, which you say was about the arrest, you say this one had to do with Operation Valumgodi, where you say he says please update.
Yeah, about the arrest was in Valumgodi. Yes.
Why would you want an update about an arrest from you when this is a police matter?
No, commissioners, there's no way if you want an update about arrest, then I could tell him about his tenure. The tenure was something else that we spoke about. It will come up in the other meeting. It should. The evidence leader go there, or I will go there.
No, before you do that, I'm not asking you about the tenure. I'm not asking you about that.
Oh,
message.
yes, the update you wanted to know.
You've just said that question about please update related to arrests to do with the Operation Valumgodi, right? Am I representing your evidence correctly?
That's correct.
Okay. So my question is, if the minister wants to know whether there's been an arrest relating to an operation of Valumgodi, why would he ask you when it is a police matter and he's got police who report to him who are dealing with it?
Yeah, if you check the message, like I said, there was a community meeting in Stelfontein where there was community members, CPF people who were involved. And he thought I would have known better because I was interacting with those people. Just to say the person who ran away, because they were saying the community was going to look and hunt till they find him. So he just thought I would have had first-hand information because I was in Klerksdorp that time.
So you would have first-hand information about an arrest ahead of the police.
Yes.
So you would have first-hand ahead of the police.
Not necessarily the police. As a civilian, if the community decide to look for a person, intending to effect probably, I would say, a civilian arrest of some sort. But it was the community which was saying this man must be arrested. They kept on saying, and they were roaming all over to leak. So it was relevant for him to ask me that what he was trying to say, did the community arrest this person? Because the community was looking for him. That's good.
Thank you.
Then when you write back to him on the 23rd of December saying we got a breakthrough, there are then 2 calls from him to you.
Yes.
What was the breakthrough you were talking about?
You see, now this is again a different thing. Because these guys, it has nothing to do with this one of Stilfontein. No, it was not Stilfontein. It was something else. I just cannot remember what was that breakthrough, but it was not the Stilfontein. Neither was it anything to do with politics. I can't remember what this message, but I did send this message. It came from me to Minister Sensu. There's nothing to do with the police or Stilfontein.
But if you go down a page, well, not down a page, just over the page to Tuesday, December the 24th, the minister asks you, was the arrest effected?
Yes, but this is the same question Commissioner did ask me now about the arrest in Stilfontein.